I told you so. I told you so. Y'all remember when I told you guys, what was that, 5 years ago? Going on 6 years now. I said that R. Kelly had been in the news a little bit. Name was popping up in the news a little too much lately. And I said that I noticed that Bill Cosby's name was popping up, but because of Woody Allen being nominated for the Academy Award, the media in Hollywood would have looked like law enforcement would look like hypocrites. So they sort of died down. That year, that year around February of March of 2013, R. Kelly had started to try to change his style. He sort of tried to do a Raphael Sadiq, meaning, when you reach a certain age, you want to appeal to a certain audience, and you want to do a wink and a nod back to the Motown sound. If you remember when he went with the suit and he did the whole video back in the black and white, you remember that kind of mode, and people started talking about R. Kelly again. I'm like, he ain't said nothing nasty in his videos, or he hasn't done anything nasty in a minute, but yet they bring up R. Kelly up. And I'm like, why? And I said to myself, I predicted way back when they started going after Chris Brown and Kanye and the rest of them, I said they had to clear a path for these white artists, these male artists. You have to understand, Justin Bieber, the Jonas Brothers, Sam Smith, whatever other white male artists that they was hyping, John Mayer or put they hope on, look stale or look like they're standing still in comparison to a then 40-something-year-old man. And a lot of people tend to forget that R. Kelly wrote a large majority of the music that a lot of these artists currently have in rotation in their catalog. People don't realize how prolific this brother's been. People like to talk about him being uneducated, but he was smart enough to be able to write lyrics and music. But what happened was you had some people in R. Kelly past that was mad about not being big, because people forget the interviews that Sparkle gave where she was throwing shade at R. Kelly. Because what happened was when Sparkle initially came out, she did well. Then when they did a follow-up album, it went nowhere, and she blamed R. Kelly for it. But you should have blamed the fickle audience. You have to understand, women don't buy female artists stuff like that unless the media deemed you worthy. R&B was changing. White women, Hispanic women was invading that space. See, reason why Beyonce was able to carve out a niche in a so-called R&B pop, because her daddy saw which way the writing was. He knew he had to put her in front of Destiny Child. He knew he had to put her out there in the Hollywood. That's why all of a sudden Beyonce was acting, even though she can't really act. They pushed her out there, and then when she hooked up with Jay-Z, everybody was curious. Everybody was going to make this a modern-day Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown type situation where Jay-Z's from the streets and Beyonce's from the suburbs of Texas. That kind of thing. A lot of people forget that stuff. So if you are Sparkle or whatever, like Faith Evans, all these other sisters that was hot one moment and now they reduced to playing smaller venues or singing hooks of somebody else's album. Hopefully they can get some recognition again. They're gonna start trying to do everything in their power to bounce. I mean, look at Shantae Moore. She has a beautiful voice, beautiful sister. But look how many labels she's been on since she started. Toni Braxton, before she started chopping that face up, Toni Braxton is struggling because the music landscape has changed. Black producers start working with a lot of these so-called white artists or artists of color or artists that try to play, who are black, but try to play something other than black. So now it has been watered down. So now you got a then 40-something-year-old R. Kelly still belting out hits. And if you put R. Kelly next to Justin Timberlake, no contest. Put him next to Justin Bieber, No contest. So now you have that contingent. You have a contingent of bitter-ass women who used to hang with R. Kelly, but R. Kelly ain't looking at it anymore because they be aged out. Let's just keep it real. Ladies, y'all do the same thing with the fellas. Fellas do the same thing with y'all. But the difference is we move on. We have no choice to. Y'all don't. Y'all miss the parties, the limos. Y'all miss the nice clothes, the hotels, the trips. Y'all miss that stuff. So now you're going to have some bitter-ass women. But what they're going to do is they're going to keep bringing R. Kelly past back. See, once you get accused of those things, whether you did it or not, you're screwed. And none of us is taking it for R. Kelly for him messing around with underage girls, Aaliyah, or that girl, that video. Now, the other ones that claim that never happened. So, and they never brought anything to it. Only one we knew publicly is Aaliyah and the girl in that video. And a lot of us gave him the benefit of the doubt because I didn't want to see that video at first. It wasn't until years later while I was in Iraq, that's when I saw it. And I'm like, oh, that's R. Kelly. Oh, wow. But I also knew in that video, for that girl to be 14 years old, she wasn't acting like a 14-year-old girl. See, there's a lot of stuff that we don't want to talk about in our community or outside the community, just in the whole. These kids nowadays are more advanced than we ever were. Let me remind you, back in the 80s, we were seeing juicing. These kids still saying fucking, sucking, talking about anal sex, oral sex, I mean, all kinds of stuff. These kids got many computers in their pockets now. All they gotta do is type in a word, whoop, images show up, things are geared to them, they expose things. MTV stopped playing music videos, VH1 started showing these reality shows, these baby mama, ex-wife shows, these 16-year-old girls getting pregnant on covers. So are we gonna blame R. Kelly for that? No, you blame the music industry in Hollywood for that. Now, R. Kelly had to have been getting some type of support, not from the people in his inner circle, but from the record companies in Hollywood in general. You have to remember, when it was found out that R. Kelly and Aaliyah, right then, Aaliyah's mother and father should have said something, should have got the police involved. No police involvement. A lot of these people who are still in radio, or who got in radio after they reached a certain age, but they were still at the club dancing and bopping their head to R. Kelly music, just as I'm pretty sure they were bopping their head to R. Kelly way before, a week prior to that doc coming out. Now all of a sudden y'all done caught religion and y'all want to be angry. No, you're hypocrites. You're Johnny come latelys. As I said in many other videos, this is not about me defending R. Kelly. It's about me calling out hypocrisy, about this false outrage. I don't like false outrage. You have to be consistent. Aaron Magruder did the first episode of Boondocks dedicated to R. Kelly. A lot of y'all dismiss it because it's animated, but he made some excellent points in that. Now, you'll laugh if I mention some other stuff, like Regina King, voice of, was that Rowley? I think Rowley. She's in the character say, when I see somebody pee, I get out of the way. Go back and watch that episode again and watch them start to finish. Listen very closely to what they were saying. They was calling out not only R. Kelly, they was calling out the legal system. They was calling out the fans. They was calling out the female fans. They was calling out black females in particular. But we all know that a certain segment of black women don't believe anything they do is wrong. And it wasn't just black women that was dancing and bopping to R. Kelly music. There were white women. But R. Kelly wasn't fucking around, excuse my language, with white women. And if he did, they ain't gonna come out and say nothing because they don't want nobody to know you messed with R. Kelly. But white women sure know how to give sister talking points. They don't really care about black women. That's bunk. Brothers like me back in the day, even in high school, saying, why y'all mess with not just R. Kelly, but these grown-ass men, period. You know they using y'all for sex, right? No, they love us. we can put it on them. Y'all just competing against 20-some, 30-some-year-old women. Y'all want to play like y'all didn't think or say those things. See, look, those of us in our late 30s and early 40s knew that there were women in our age group chasing after people who are now in their later 40s and early 50s, and even older than that. There were baby boomers who had high school girls in my school. They were chasing after them. And today they're denied or they play dumb. I remember the girls. And we would just shake our head. And then the dudes who out here complaining like, we got to protect our daughters. Y'all was out there doing bummy ass shit to females too. But now y'all know y'all can pander to them and manipulate them. Then you got these moist dudes. Girl, we told y'all. No, y'all was encouraging them. Because y'all figure if they chase after those kinds of dudes, y'all have a path to y'all chase after some dudes. But I digress. You can't tell me that the news media, Warner Brothers, who did Space Jam, who own the Looney Tunes catalog, who own DC Comics, who owns Batman, when they picked R. Kelly song for Space Jam, you mean to tell me they didn't know? You mean to tell me when they asked R. Kelly to write a song for the Batman and Robin soundtrack, they didn't know? You mean to tell me Celine Dion didn't know? Now I know y'all can say, what about Michael Jackson? Michael Jackson was falsely, they asked Michael Jackson about that. Michael Jackson was falsely accused of being a child molester. Do you think Michael Jackson going to turn around and cut another black man's throat? No. Speaking of Michael Jackson, I've been hearing some rumors going around that they got a new doc about Michael, about him going after being a pedophile. Now, Michael been dead this June, or was it June or August? Was it June he died? June of this year will be 10 years that man's been dead. And reports have came out by the FBI stating that they've been watching Michael since 1978, 79. Now, that little tidbit would have been nice. It would have destroyed every allegation that came out. Because if the FBI is monitoring you, they would have your phone calls, your purchases, who went in your home, who you interact with. They said they had nothing. A lot of people forget that. Remember last year, they tried to do this, and some of us out here pointed out the FBI already said they was monitoring Michael Jackson from that point, from the 1970s on up until his death. See, this is why I always say, know your history, control your dollar. Because people will alter and do things and make you believe or get angry about something that you should or shouldn't. But back to the whole R. Kelly thing. R. Kelly was writing songs for everybody, even rappers. Remember when Jay-Z wanted to be in the R. Kelly business? But when that tape came out, Jay-Z quickly ran away from R. Kelly, which I thought was hypocritical, considering Jay-Z was calling black women bitches and whores. Jay-Z was a drug dealer, how he made his money. Now all of a sudden you grew a conscience. Just like when Jay-Z later on said, you know, I have a daughter now. You know, I'm not going to call them women bitches and whores. You know, I grew up. You're damn near 50 years old. And now you finally grew up. Remember, Jay-Z and R. Kelly in the same age group. I know it's hard for y'all to believe, but we do age in a slower rate than most people. But they say black don't crack. I mean, just think about it. Appearance-wise, unless you live that life and you're not stressed out, you got the best of the best. You age a certain way. Look at Jada Pinkett Smith, mama. Look at her. But I digress. So, anyways, a lot of artists around that time started to slowly pull away from R. Kelly, but not too much away from him. Because some people saying, yo, man, I knew the guy history, but y'all afraid that they're white, y'all this close to being crossover stars, so y'all don't want to mess it up. So when it died down just a little bit, Torre went on TV, that famous interview that Torre ex R. Kelly, and R. Kelly like a damn headline. He didn't look good in that interview. But at that time, I was still giving brother the benefit of the doubt. because the stuff that we knew about Aaliyah, we knew that. But I always maintained that her parents should have came out and said something. And the ladies and men felt that he was such a threat, especially the ladies. Y'all could have nipped in the butt right then. Stop going to his concerts, stop playing his music, because there's more women that was playing R. Kelly stuff than men. And still to this day. But anyways, when they came out, that's when the white media started getting involved. Your Conan O'Brien's, your Jay Leno's, your David Letterman's, your Bill Maher making R. Kelly jokes, remember? If you guys were familiar with them shows, they kept making R. Kelly jokes, Eddie Murphy jokes, Mike Tyson jokes, Michael Jackson jokes. You remember? Everybody was making jokes around that time. But then Woody Allen and these other cats start coming back into the spotlight. Your Roman Polanski's in them. So sort of people started to change tune, and then the gay community started getting more prominent, and they started going after black rappers for, as they say, anti-gay lyrics, which it wasn't a whole hell of a lot. But notice they ignored Eminem. So at that time, R&B was falling out of flavor. But R. Kelly was still able to transition. R. Kelly's like a chameleon. He can say, let me go, I can do the I Can Believe I Can Fly to the Fiesta. Remember? He remember when he was with Nick Cannon and everything? Remember how everybody wanted to be in R. Kelly business, even though these people are old enough to know of this man's past. See, I didn't expect a 5-year-old to understand, or a 10-year-old. But if you was of a teenager in 94, meaning you was between the age of 13 and 18, if you was in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s and 50s, even your 60s and 70s, you was aware of R. Kelly's history. Now, you fast forward until his trial. Now, at that point, by the time I saw it, I said, he going to jail. He got to go to jail for this. Ain't no way he get out of this. Little did I know the power of female fans. Female fans across the country was, remember, they was out there supporting R. Kelly. You remember when the news crew said in California, R. Kelly loyal fans was praying for him. In New York, R. Kelly fans. In Chicago, the singer's hometown, at 26 in California, you had a contingent of black females of various shapes, size, and color saying, free R. Kelly, he did nothing wrong. And you had a bunch of brothers out there protesting. This is why when y'all start saying that we don't care about black women, y'all need to go back and pull those clips. And the news media need to pull them clips in its entirety. But they ain't going to do that because they get off on seeing black men and black women at each other's throats. Now, R. Kelly, when he first went to court, he was wearing a natural. Somebody told him, get the braids out, grow their hair out, look a little bit more presentable for your white judge and the white jury. Because guaranteed he had a white jury. Okay, let's just keep it real. But when the then girl testified, that wasn't me. When her friends and family said, that's not her. Sparkle and them, all of them, was giving conflicting testimony. What does a jury and a judge do? They got to say not guilty. And he walked. And for a while, you didn't hear shit from R. Kelly. He'll write something here and there. He might sing a hook here and there. But he went radio silent for a second. But his music never stopped being in rotation. And then R. Kelly came out trapped in the closet that everybody seemed to have forgot about. Oh, no, that was before. But they think he did a sequel to it or something. But people went and bought the shit. He was still writing music for various artists. People were still singing I Believe I Can Fly at graduations. At barbecues and clubs across the country, people still bopping their head to his music. Even the late, great Michael Jackson, when they did that behind the scenes, he was doing remember that video when he danced to Ignition? Everybody was popping Ignition. Radio stations was playing it back to back, but we seem to forget all about this. See, this is why I'm angry at us, or those who were or those who made profit off R. Kelly but now want to throw him under the bus. All of a sudden, white artists in around 2007, around 2006, around that time, they said, we want to do what Justin Timberlake is doing. And then you had Timberland and them all of a sudden getting requests from Madonna and them. And he's, what's that dude? The dude, he just, Chris something. He committed suicide. This white dude, I can't think of it. You can tell Timberland did his music. Because you can tell Timberland produced music. Then you start getting all these other black artists started. Because remember, was that Full Force? They was writing music for NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. It was all these black R&B groups and music. They was behind the scenes. But they said we gotta talk. We gotta keep it hip. Who's the hip? We got the hit. He did head to the streets. R. Kelly. So then Usher comes out. Let me go out and I found a new guy. His name is Justin Bieber. Then all of a sudden, Justin Bieber blows up. The Jonas Brothers was in flux, but they were still out there. Then Justin Timberlake decides he want to come back into music. So let me go get with Jay-Z and Kanye. And then when Kanye realized what was going on, him and Justin Timberlake had some words. Jay-Z stood with Justin Timberlake. When Black America asked Jay-Z, when Stevie Wonder and Shaka Khan said, hey, don't play in Florida, Jay-Z didn't do like he did with R. Kelly. He said, my fans down there gotta go perform. Remember that? Now he had morals when it was R. Kelly, or what it seemed to be morals. But R. Kelly was still writing music for people. What happened was your Katy Perry's and them decided, well, we need crossover success. We need black producers, and we need the black writers. Lady Gaga knew that shtick that she was doing with the meat dresses and the la la bar, whatever the fuck she was saying. She knew it was going to go so far. So she decided, I'm going to go get R. Kelly rights in my music. And just when I discovered that performance on SNL by accident, December of 2013, I'm flipping the channel. I'm like, I didn't know Lady Gaga and R. Kelly was together, but I'm not shocked. Because this is what white artists do. They want that crossover success with the so-called urban crowd. They want white folk to think they hipper than what they truly are. So let's go get the black dude. Even though he had a reputation, even though Lady Gaga is old enough to remember all the crap, she still worked with him. But what set them off is this performance right here. And y'all remember, for the last 5 years or so, I've been mentioning this, and I said, this is going to be the thing that's going to take R. Kelly down. Remember who was the president of the United States at that time. And remember, what president to this day that everybody still talk about in romantic notions? JFK. Camelot. It was an innocent time until November of 1963, blah, 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 blah. But we also remember that JFK had a penchant to mess with young girls who worked in the White House, who worked on his campaign. That White House press corps room that you see today, that was the White House swimming pool. JFK was screwing interns and other young women, girls in that pool. Jackie knew, but didn't say a word. Bobby knew, didn't say a word. Matter of fact, Bobby and JFK was passing, they were taking turns sleeping with Marilyn Monroe. She knew where the body was buried. That's why they say suicide. She was murdered. Anybody no history, been paying attention, know that she was murdered. But the thing is, Marilyn Monroe is forever linked to the Kennedy years. Remember? Happy birthday, Mr. President. Don't believe me? Go look it up. So now you got R. Kelly, a black man, and you got Lady Gaga, a white woman, performing together. So what was going on in the country at that time? Anti-Obama sentiment. At that time, it was that year was the 50th anniversary of JFK's assassination. A month prior, the news you couldn't they all kinds of specials. Didn't Katie Holmes do a special that the Kennedy family was complaining about? They didn't want to see because they thought they were. You remember that when Greg Kinnear and all of them? I know it seemed like a long time ago, but it was only 5-6 years ago, folks. So what happened was, I guess they wanted to say, okay, anti-Obama sentiment, Kennedy nostalgia, let's blend it together. So the set so they said they performed multiple times, but this is some SNL. This is I said I think R. Kelly fucked up on this one. They don't take his ass down now. Y'all remember? Y'all been fighting for that length of time. I've been mentioning this all along. This killed it right here. Think about it. R. Kelly represents Obama and JFK. Lady Gaga represents Lady Gaga and Marilyn Monroe in one of JFK many horrors. Then you playing on a stereotype that the black guy in the Oval Office got some white trim somewhere. Now look at Lady Gaga, how she looked at R. Kelly. I guarantee it that, and remember, R. Kelly music studio is in Chicago when he recorded his music. Now, let me remind y'all, around that time, Chicago Fire was in production. Wasn't Lady Gaga used to be engaged to one of the stars? Because Lady Gaga was in Chicago, she did that Polar Plunge one winter. She was in and out of Chicago. So, do you think that Miley Cyrus and Lady Gaga and these and Katy Perry's and them, you don't think they was bending over in the produce room that they produce, what they call it, the recording sessions with these black men? You don't think they was probably saying, "Ooh, I'm curious. You're so funny." Brothers, we ain't done. We know how to get down. Look at her. If y'all go back and watch that live performance, I'm telling you, if Lady Gaga and R. Kelly was in that room, she would spread legs for him. And I remember telling y'all, I'm like, yo, man, they're going to use this to take R. Kelly down. A lot of y'all, oh, Harvey, no, you reading too much into it. I'm like, okay, you idiots don't remember know your history. That's why I kept saying control your dollar, know your history. Every video I've talked about R. Kelly since December of 2013, I made mention of this. Well, I make mention of this again because Lady Gaga released a statement last night talking about she's going to pull the music her R. Kelly worked on out of her playlist rotation. But before we get to that, I want y'all to listen to some audio. Because I don't like hypocrites. I don't like liars. I don't like opportunists. Listen to this very closely.
Sex abuse allegations against singer R. Kelly may result in a criminal investigation against him being reopened. The attorney for one of his alleged victims says he's been contacted by a Georgia district attorney. What is for sure is that record sales for the controversial singer have soared. Is R. Kelly proof that there's no such thing as bad publicity? The controversial singer is reportedly seeing a big spike in sales following the airing of that scathing Lifetime TV documentary, Surviving R. Kelly. The 6-part series tells harrowing stories of alleged sexual abuse by the singer. Can you describe the physical abuse? It has been seen by 2.1 million viewers. Streams of his music on Spotify have jumped 16%, and that is perplexing actress Gina Pinkett Smith. I'm having a really difficult time understanding why, but I think it's important that I understand why. I really would like for you guys to help me understand what I'm missing. Jay-Z, Lady Gaga, and several other big names are being called out today by the executive executive producer of the Lifetime documentary, for reportedly declining to participate. Gaga and R. Kelly have performed together on several high-profile TV appearances.
R. Kelly and I have sometimes very untrue things written about us. So, in a way, this was a bond between us.
John Legend was the only big star to speak out in the documentary.
It shows you how rich and powerful men can get away with a lot of things.
To everyone telling me how courageous I am for appearing in the doc, it didn't feel risky at all. I believe these women, and I don't give a blank about protecting a serial child rapist.
A representative for Kelly calls all allegations of physical abuse and sexual misconduct false. Tomorrow, we will sit down with 3 of Kelly's accusers to hear their side of the story.
Now, you heard Lady Gaga give her reason why she worked. She said some of the things that she said some of the things that were written about her and R. Kelly. Because you couldn't deny that he was with Aaliyah. You know, that tape, everybody knew it, but it was up to the victims and their families to corroborate what was saw in it, and they refused to. John Legend said, rich and powerful man. This is this narrative that been said about Bill Cosby and even Mike Tyson back in the 90s. No black man on this planet got that kind of juice. We had a former president that nominated a Supreme Court justice, and Mitch McConnell and them found a way to block it, and Obama did nothing. When Joe Wilson said, "You lie," Obama said nothing. When Jan Brewer put her finger in his face, he took it. So if a sitting president that has a Secret Service in his hand at that red button that can go start a war, can get disrespected and get dismissed, R. Kelly can get dismissed. Look at Bill Cosby. They changed laws to get him on hearsay. They keep relitigating with R. Kelly's past. See, talking to now, if you can prove that he did something to these females in the now, but y'all trying to relitigate Aaliyah. Aaliyah been dead 18 years, folks. Aaliyah wasn't no angel, nor was her mother and father. Now her mama's talking crap about R. Kelly. Really? You got a lot of these station managers who was there in the 90s are still there now, or these young DJs. I'm outraged. Yeah, you'd be outraged too if people been every day since 1994 yelling about it, but they didn't do anything. And especially the last few years with this Me Too thing going on, which I told y'all black men will become the face of this. Harvey, you being paranoid. I'm like, you guys really don't be paying attention to the news. I said, y'all got to stop listening to this radio station or going to that one website or watching that one news program. You need to watch it all. I'm telling you right now, they can't get the former president, because a lot of this stems from Obama derangement syndrome. And when they see black men out here still making money, popular, and little white girls getting moist between their legs, and grown white women getting moist between their legs like little black girls and black women, they like, no, can't do that. Gotta stop that one. Now, brothers like R. Kelly, or men in general like R. Kelly, I don't respect y'all. I'm not defending y'all. I know some of y'all are conditions of your environment. I already know it. But the fact is, you knew your past. You should have been a little bit more aware of what's going on around you. If I was R. Kelly, maybe he did get help. I don't know. But I know after that trial, you didn't hear nothing about little girls anymore. And this is why I say people are disingenuous. John Legend don't live in Chicago. A lot of these people who live in Chicago have left Chicago 10, 15 years ago. They don't come back here, have nothing to do with the city. So how can you sit there and say, well, he be on the south side? R. Kelly just wasn't on the south side of Chicago, folks. See, a lot of y'all don't know Chicago. See, y'all think there's only one side of town that black folks can hang on and live. Y'all might have heard R. Kelly talk about George Music Room, or George Daniels. Well, George Music Room was on Roosevelt Road on the west side of Chicago. And if you guys don't know your history, 1966, when King lived in Chicago, they had incidents up and down Roosevelt Road because you get to a certain point, you had these some housing projects that were being built in the area. You had these apartments that was in disarray, and the kids in the neighborhood were looking for relief from summertime heat. They open fire hydrants. And this is done all over the country: New York, California, Chicago. This is how poor people in the city, because there were no public pools. Usually they on the outskirts of the city, or if they are public pools, they live in a field house. They went to disarray, or you had to have somebody that'll monitor, and they wasn't doing that. So Martin Luther King went up and down Roosevelt Road trying to keep these young brothers from rioting and getting out of hand, getting in confrontation with the police. And George Music Room is in that area where it was, because since the music industry went to downloading, it killed actual record shops. I think the last one I went in was in 2000. I got hurt. I got hurt in these 05. I came home they sent me come home for Christmas. I was still in the wheelchair. My father and my brother, we went to Xbox. So 05, 06, that's when I think the last of the was that Sam Goody. And what's that for you? I don't think for your entertainment. I haven't been really in the malls lately. But is For Your Entertainment still open, folks? I used to get emails. I used to get emails about it. But anyways, in that area, George Music Room was popping, and every artist would come through Chicago and stop at George Music Room. And R. Kelly knew George. I think one song when he mentioned George in one of his songs, I can't remember. Sort of like when Marvin Gaye was talking about when he said, "Hey Don," he was talking about Don Cornelius. When he got to Give It Up, he said, "Hey Don." Don Cornelius came in a recording session, and Marvin would say, "Hey, what's up, Don? Hey, what you doing, man?" That kind of thing. But anyways, R. Kelly wasn't just on the South Side. He wasn't hitting the West Side high schools like he did, as they said, on the South Side, but he did pop up on the West Side. We did see his entourage rise up and down Roosevelt, Kizzy, Chicago Avenue, North Avenue every now and then. And y'all remember when Michael Jackson came to Chicago and Michael Jordan to shoot Jam with Heavy D and Crisscross, they was over there down the street from Marshall and high school and the old Chicago Stadium, and even near the old site where the Black Panthers Chicago West Side office was at, and one of the old factories has been torn down. Was it Armory? Was it the Armory? The old Armory over on Madison, if I'm not mistaken. That's when they shot Jam at. So you had to remember, Oprah Winfrey Studios. It's down, not that it was not that far from where R. Kelly recording studio is at. So you know what they say on the West Side of Chicago? R. Kelly was on the West Side of Chicago. So if anything, he'd have been on the West Side of Chicago messing with a young lady. We didn't see all that. We saw his entourage, but we ain't see him hitting the high schools like that. Because number one, ABC, which is Channel 7, CBS was Channel 2, NBC was Channel 5, WGN was Channel 9, FLE, which is Channel 32, is Fox. It was sitting too close in that area. So everybody would have seen it. That's why I say nobody in the media have any images of R. Kelly doing this shit. And if he was just specifically on the South Side, where are the police officers at? Because if I'm not mistaken, even in the 90s, wasn't police officers riding around the high school when kids was getting out of school? Because of the drive-by shootings and parents being concerned about they don't want kids hanging around the schools loitering. Remember that, folks? See, this is why I keep telling people, when y'all talk about this shit, y'all better have some receipts and some proof. Because, like I said, I ain't been out of school that long. I remember this stuff. So when you hear people, these docs saying, well, R. Kelly was doing this, maybe he did do what they say he did. But the thing is, how many people was complicit in it? If R. Kelly was hitting these schools, you mean to tell me the principals, the vice principal, none of the teachers, none of the staff, no custodians, nobody saw this dude? And you mean to tell me none of these young ladies, parents or guardians warned them in life saying, don't mess around with older men. Don't get caught being around R. Kelly. And now y'all crying on TV. Oh my gosh. He did this to me. He violated me. He took my innocence. He forced me. You're a grown-ass woman. You come and go as you please. TMZ got video of the alleged victims at his concerts. How did TMZ get that? That means somebody's watching. The last 20 years, if you're a celebrity, you can't move without somebody recording you. Paparazzi, but now everybody got a damn smartphone. Everybody's recording everybody. You remember how the news used to say, if you have a news story, call us and let us know. Now they say, if you have any video, send it to us. See, you guys got to pay attention to what's being said, how it's being said, why it's being said. And let me say this again. This is not defending R. Kelly. This is pointing out people's hypocrisies. This is pointing out history. Now I'm gonna play some more audio. And listen very closely to what's being said. And I'm gonna point out some things.
New developments tonight in the controversy over music superstar R. Kelly and accusations of sexual misconduct. Tonight, women and men gathered outside his former Chicago studio to call for a boycott of his music and prosecution for sexual assault. NBC5's Dick Johnson is in our newsroom right now with word of new allegations against R. Kelly. Dick?
And Allison, tonight with an outbreak of new accusations against R. Kelly in Florida and Georgia, the Cook County State's Attorney's Office now confirms it too is receiving and reviewing calls of possible new claims of sexual misconduct. On a bitter cold night near R. Kelly's former West Loop studio, a new movement to support two young women believed to be current victims of the singer's alleged sex cult.
Shame on everybody who has enabled this man for so long.
The growing mute R. Kelly effort comes on the...
Now that lady speaking is a DJ, Chicago DJ. She's white. Okay? I gotta point this out because black women, you about to be used to destroy black men, not just R. Kelly. And brothers like myself, we are not debating R. Kelly's past. We're talking about what they're doing now. You're being manipulated. The news crew went to this white woman first, a radio DJ. She's been on TV on Chicago, seen on television. I can't remember her name. I think she worked for 103.5 or B96, one of them, but she's been seen around on TV. She's been on that show, Windy City Live, that I mentioned in past. The one that when Sinbad went on there and he called everybody out for being hypocritical about Bill Cosby. I'll play the rest of it.
Heels of a Lifetime docuseries chronicling the singer's alleged penchant for sex with young girls. The revelations moved this protest leader to tears.
I feel ashamed that it took the docuseries for me to wake up. I have sang with this man. I have taken photos with this man. Shame on me for taking this long to be awake, but I am awake.
Across the street.
Now, the woman we just said that she was ashamed. She's a radio disc jockey. She works for WGCI, 107.5, WGCI. Her name is Kendra something. She's also been on Windy City Live. Now, if anybody ever watched Windy City Live, they bash black men. And that Sister Valerie Warner, she sort of is give them sort of a wink and a nod. I remember when the show first premiered, a black woman called her out that, why are you talking about black people the way you do? And she got defensive. But if you ever sat back and watched them talk about any black man that got accused or in trouble or screwed up or got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, they talk about himself. She said, I used to sing with him and take pictures with him, and it took this document for me to wake up. You knew of his reputation. You're a 30-some-year-old woman. You're not a teenager who just was introduced to R. Kelly. You're in your 30s, just like the white woman. And she's up there faking with her glued-on hair. It took me... Y'all full of it. Cause y'all don't want nobody pulling out saying, hey, didn't you stand with, hey, didn't you? See, me, I'm going to do it because I don't like hypocrisy. This is not taking up for R. Kelly. This is calling out all the people who have been complicit in R. Kelly's foolishness. But see, I ain't supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to point out that stuff. But I'm sorry, I lost it. I got to play it again. I apologize. Let me play it again from the beginning. But I had to point out that hypocrisy.
New developments tonight in the controversy over music superstar R. Kelly and accusations of sexual misconduct. Tonight, women and men gathered outside his former Chicago studio to call for a boycott of his music and prosecution for sexual assault. NBC5's Dick Johnson is in our newsroom right now with word of new allegations against R. Kelly. Dick?
And Allison, tonight with an outbreak of new accusations against R. Kelly in Florida and Georgia, the Cook County State's Attorney's Office now confirms it too is receiving and reviewing calls of possible new claims of sexual misconduct. On a bitter cold night near R. Kelly's former West Loop studio, a new movement to support two young women believed to be current victims of the singer's alleged sex cult.
Shame on everybody who has enabled this man for so long.
The growing Mute R. Kelly effort comes on the heels of a Lifetime docuseries chronicling the singer's alleged penchant for sex with young girls. The revelations moved this protest leader to tears.
I feel ashamed that it took the docuseries for me to wake up. I had sang with this man. I had taken photos with this man. Shame on me for taking this long to be awake, but I am awake.
Across the street,
Liar!
a lone voice of support for Kelly from a woman who appeared in the documentary as his #1 fan.
I think all this is lies.
Overhearing her words, this father of a 14-year-old girl says it makes his blood boil.
The justice system should take care of this long time ago.
A decade ago, R. Kelly was tried in Cook County Criminal Court on multiple counts of child pornography after videos surfaced allegedly showing him having sex with an underage girl. A jury found him not guilty. Since then, he's continued to perform and record for his legions of fans.
It's hard for people to compartmentalize a monster from a memory. I know we all loved his music, but that's not the point.
Tonight, there are reports of radio stations around the country refusing to play his music, artists pulling his songs from their set list, and calls for record companies to boycott him. All of it believed to be taking a financial toll on R. Kelly himself. Rob, Dick, thanks.
Now, you hear that. You hear how the white woman came out and talked about memories of him. Sisters, why are white women yelling now when they didn't yell back then? Are they only yelling because, as I said, December 2013, this performance, when they started doing yelling. And I had predicted that because they would throw this back in Lady Gaga's face at some point. And now Lady Gaga said, I stand with the women. What R. Kelly did was he's a monster. You have no proof, but yet you call the guy guilty. What they're doing is being slick. They bringing up his past to determine his present. He was tried already. You didn't like the outcome. What y'all doing is what you did with O.J. Simpson. See, when O.J. Simpson was acquitted, people, not just black people, but people who were fans who thought the trial was bullshit, cheered and whatnot. And those who are white, who had a certain belief about black men, was taken aback by it. And from that civil trial all to this day, they had 20-something years to work on the public. Black folk that were supporting O.J. Simpson now want to get caught dead because they're afraid to say it. Black folk that said they didn't agree with homosexuality are afraid to say it because they get caught homophobic. See, if you bully black folk enough, we'll change our tune. We'll conform. That's why Kanye said something about the slave mentality. And it went over a lot of y'all head what he meant. and y'all attacked him. But I told y'all he was crazy like a fox. He knew exactly. When I heard it, I didn't get offended because he was right. Sisters, I got a question. How can the Me Too movement shift from all them white dudes who got power into this? When it came out that Les Moonves was out there messing with women and he had something to do with Janet Jackson's career, why didn't y'all go out there and say Les Moonves need to be in jail? Les Moonves is being able to go off into the sunset. His wife, Julie Chen, for nearly 10 years, mentioned Chris Brown, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson, any other black man that got in trouble. Criticized Dennis Rodman, they criticized Michael Jordan. Whether we like these cats or not, whether we think they're innocent or not, they always had criticism of us. Now you got them same women last night. Black girls matter. Black girls matter. Nobody never said black girls didn't matter in our community. And for John Legend and all these other people like Jada Pinkett Smith, they act like they so outraged right now. If you was going to their house and pull, whatever device they use, they have their music on. They got R. Kelly on it or they erased it. But R. Kelly was on their playing list. All y'all was bumping and grinding and toot and the beat. And then the Chicago media is getting off on this. And yesterday, his attorney, which I'm going to play some audio behind this, was talking to the reporters. Then you go listen to the woman who started to mute R. Kelly, who lives in Atlanta. And I don't mean no harm, and I don't want to diss any our brothers and sisters in Atlanta because I know it's not the entirely. Atlanta's a fucked up place for black folks to be at with the crime, the HIV rate, the twisted sense of sexuality. It's crazy that y'all get this is where y'all breaking point is, but all the other stuff, nobody talks about it. Now I know people say, Harvey, making a generalization. Now y'all see how I feel for those of us who live in Chicago, that y'all let the media just generalize the Chicago area or black Chicago. White media is getting a kick out of this one. We doing their dirty work for them. But I warned y'all, I said December of 2013, this is when R. Kelly issue started back up again. Some old white dude or some white chick said, that nigger R. Kelly's messing with Lady Gaga. That's why she ran to Tony Bennett real quick. To try to, because she said, I don't want the stink of R. Kelly on me, but you was cool with the stink when your record sales was going to hit. Remember, in that audio, Inside Edition and other outlets, they performed multiple times. It's just SNL is when everybody paid attention to it. To the sisters out here, the ones who was listening to R. Kelly said, you took a documentary about something that y'all have known for 20-something years to make you see the light. Really? The brothers in the community, our word don't mean nothing. We've been yelling for years. A documentary was produced by a white man and a black woman. Let me remind y'all, a white man and a black woman. Don't this sound familiar? How many sisters and white men and white women joined forces to go after brothers? Whether they did something or not. Now y'all gonna say, why race gotta be in it? When you start saying black girls matter, you insinuate that nobody gives a damn about black women. But black women gotta give a damn about themselves, about each other. Some of y'all have no sisterhood. There have been black women have warned some of you sisters going out to clubs. Why y'all dancing R. Kelly stuff? And R. Kelly should have every right in the world to be able to make money. That's how you make his living. People say, well, they can't separate R. Kelly from the music. I think R. Kelly is a musical genius. But that doesn't mean I'm running out to buy his product. That's just a choice. Is it that I don't want to support his men to have a live? No, it's not that. Just that I just don't feel. I don't personally feel comfortable going out there saying, criticizing dude, then turn around buying his product like that. They make him like a hypocrite. Not to say that I don't have his songs on my listening device, because you download shit for free. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is I don't run out there to support his every project. That's what I'm saying. And I say, and even if I did, I say, you know what? Hey, I back in the '90s and stuff, I yelled about, hey, this guy, messing around. But we was accused of being cock blockers. We was accused of being jealous. Now y'all had a 20-something year delay. It looks stupid. Just like when I told you about the whole thing of Bill Cosby. If Cosby did these things 50 years ago, why did it take you 50 years? And then you have someone, you can't tell a victim when they say, no, you're not a victim. Because if you're a victim, you want justice or restitution right then and there. You don't wait till you get old and wait till somebody don't even remember you, or you have your way of proving that these things happen. And then Kim Fox, they said, now people coming forth. Yeah, we got to do a cattle call. Of course people going to come out and going to add on. It may never even been on our archive, but all they got to do is say they were. All they got to do is listen to somebody else and say, well, nobody really know. There are a lot of people that gave a wide berth to do, but y'all are trying to relitigate something that y'all didn't like years ago. I'm talking about the now. And some of these women who's in that docuseries, their stories are unraveling. What I'm going to do is pause right now. I'm going to go find that audio from yesterday, and I want you guys to listen very closely.
Response to Kim Fox making the plea yesterday on television asking for anyone who feel they've been victimized by R. Kelly to come forward.
Look, Robin, the police have been up to his studio. They've been by his home. They've never found anything wrong. They've never found anything out of sorts. Women have been sleeping with rock stars since the time of Elvis. And all of a sudden, because some used car salesman, this savage dad in Georgia, starts some accusation, everyone's all up in arms. There are no underage women. There is no sex cult. It's all just some reality TV made-up story.
Steve, he has settled out of court with underage women, has he not?
He may have settled over the years with various people for various kinds of allegations, but what we're dealing with is the here and now, and what's going on here and now, there's nothing wrong.
So, Steve, there are a number of famous singers who I'm sure get lots of women and do whatever they do, but as far as I know, he's the only one who has dozens and dozens of women saying, when I was underage, this happened. Is it a conspiracy? How do you explain that?
I don't know that there's dozens and dozens of women who are saying this, but you have to wonder, when are they saying it? No one ever came forward and said it years ago. Other than the one young lady, no one's parents have ever complained about it. No one has ever seen any evidence of it. There's no photos of him with these women. There's no anything. So, I don't know what motivates people. I used to wonder when I would get called on what motivates people to be on Jerry Springer and shows like that. I don't know why people want to go in public and say that they do things, but people do it. It doesn't make it true. We know that those kinds of stories are mostly false. And the fact that some producer went out and found a bunch of women who wanted to be on TV and say these things, no one's complaining to the police.
What do you say?
This happened to these women. They never called the cops.
What do you say about the parents of the two women currently living with him, Jocelyn Savage and Azriel Clary, who say they have been trying to get in contact with their daughters who are about the age of 18, but they feel like they are not being allowed to talk to their daughters?
I know that Miss Savage has a cell phone. She can go wherever she wants. I know that there's TMZ has put out footage of her shopping in Beverly Hills. They put out pictures of her so people have seen her. And it's like, are you telling me all these women have the Stockholm syndrome? And that
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We're going to take a break now. Check in with Amy for a look at traffic.
Still here. Wait for the rest of the audio to play.
I've never introduced her to him. I should have never introduced myself.
R. Kelly has faced severe backlash after Lifetime aired the docuseries surviving R. Kelly, detailing more than 2 decades worth of sexual assault allegations. Now R. Kelly's under criminal investigation in Georgia. Kenyon Barnes, co-founder of the #MuteRKelly campaign, has been working for decades to get all of R. Kelly's concerts canceled and his music pulled from radio and streaming platforms.
She joins us now via Skype. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
We just spoke with R. Kelly's attorney just a few minutes ago, and he pretty much says that, that there might be smoke, but there's no fire. There's nothing there, and no charges have been filed.
Well, the fact that Mr. Greenberg is R. Kelly's third attorney in about 15 months speaks a lot to how much I believe his, the credibility of his testimony. Listen, when we're talking about this case, we're talking about classic domestic abuse. We're talking about grooming behaviors. We're talking about that he met Azriel at 17 years old, and that he groomed her until she was old enough to legally not need her parents' consent to be with him. So we have to be real when we're talking about what's happening here.
Does this mean that because he says that none of these people filed any complaints ever, were there parents who were enabling R. Kelly to take advantage of their underage daughter?
No, not at all. We have a history of, first of all, R. Kelly is, by all intents and purposes, a very profound entertainer. He has a large platform. And we see this with us, children who have interest in sports, children who have interest in ballet or gymnastics. We saw this with Larry Nassar. And what happens is parents trust. They trust. They don't believe the allegations, and they trust. And that is what happened in this case. And the only person who is at fault for what is happening here is Robert Kelly.
It was interesting that I was reading that Spotify streams, when you first started this Mute R. Kelly campaign, Spotify pulled his music. It's been back on, but Spotify streams are up for his music 16%. Do you think that's people thinking they're not going to have his music available anymore, or are there diehard fans still?
I think it's a clear manipulation of the algorithm. You have R. Kelly in the news again. People want to know what's the big deal. You have fans that are playing the music on repeat. So there's a whole lot of artificial things that are causing the outliers in these numbers. So I'm actually waiting for some trend data from Spotify. I want the 12-month trend data. And if we see spikes around concert protests or large-scale public events like this, then those are simply outliers, and it's all a bunch to do about that.
Why do you think the Me Too movements seem to skyrocket, where this has kind of pedaled along year after year after year?
Actually, the Mute R. Kelly campaign started in 2017 in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, there have been activists, myself included, who have in our silos been trying to call attention to R. Kelly's transgressions for years. So I want to be clear about that. Now, regarding why this is federal law, we are talking about a population that, for the most part, is not supported and believed historically. Black girls are his victims, and black girls in our society are the least believed and the least protected. So it's a combination of all of that that has allowed this to go on for so long. But today we're saying enough is enough.
Is there a protest today in Chicago?
As a matter of fact, there is at 5 o'clock on the corner of Fulton and Laughlin Boulevard. I just want to make sure I had that correct. There will be members of the Mute R. Kelly Chicago chapter and members of the community who are coming out in solidarity to stand up for girls who are victims of sexual Video is not the only evidence that we use in convictions in this country, so we can be clear about that. But you're right, this is kind of beyond the scope of the campaign. I would defer that to the attorney that's handling this in Georgia, Attorney Joe Briggs, who will probably be able to speak more in depth about that.
Well, we appreciate you joining us. That's Kenyette Barnes with the Mute R. Kelly campaign, and you can learn more at muterkelly.org. Kenyette, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to take...
Now, I played all that in the time so nobody can say that I'm hiding or I got an agenda. No, she said they found him, Mute R. Kelly, in 2017. Now, go back when I've been yelling y'all, September of 2017. That's when the tone shifted from the white guys to the black guys. What it is these bitter black feminists, these lesbians, and these white supremacists. These white supremacist feminists are going after any black man they could. And I told y'all, I said that in the September of 2017, that's when they was going to do it. And when did she say they found this Mute R. Kelly? In 2017. You can't. I told y'all this stuff is connected. I told y'all from that performance on SNL, they've been chomping at the bit to get R. Kelly. And now Lady Gaga is speaking against him, but she was performing with him in this way, working in the studio and everything, talking about how smart he is, and talking about how some people write things about them that's not true. But all of a sudden they flip. John Legend, Jada Pinkett Smith, then you got Meek Mill, who he, by the grace of God, got Al Sharpton and Jay-Z and them support him. Remember, he was way in his adult years still screwing up. And he just got, by the grace of God, got out of jail. And you got Charlamagne the God, who just streaked past one himself. I'm telling y'all right now, this is not about black women. This is about people manipulating certain things. Okay? Let me say this again. They're manipulating certain things. They're rehashing his I'm sorry, this went blank. They're manipulating his past to inform on his present. And like I said, if you're going to talk about him dealing with women, these are grown women. These women made choices. But if y'all going to rehash something 20 years ago, and back then you didn't get attitude, 11 years this year, y'all didn't get attitude and wasn't with the pitchforks, why now? Sisters are getting shamed into some of their poor choices and behavior. And right now, I just can't get on that bandwagon. But as I said at the beginning of my commentary, I told you so. I told you so. I told you. December 2013 is when the R. Kelly attack started. And this documentary that came out on Lifetime, it was owned by the Walt Disney Corporation. Lifetime that caters to a white demographic. All of a sudden, now they want to get in the business of doing documentaries about black artists. If you are out here concerned about the well-being of women, of little girls, or people in general from being attacked by predators, why don't y'all say to that, was it A&E or Bravo, whatever network, that the teacher may take off that show? They didn't want to show white men and white women, more so white women out here being bogus. And you got white women behind black women saying, black girls matter. Nobody cares. You heard what the old girl said, nobody cares about black females. Why do y'all looking for people outside the community to care about y'all? I'm just saying, folks. Now, I apologize for this long commentary, but it had to be said. It had to be pointed out, the hypocrisy. But I've been yelling at y'all for the last 5 to 6 years that I said, him and Lady Gaga would trigger all this shit. And now Lady Gaga is running away, talking about, well, I support the women. I was in a dark place. No, you knew exactly what she was doing. And I'm going to tell y'all something. People show Lady Gaga feet to the fire. She knew of R. Kelly past. And she even admitted to it. Some of the things written about us are not true. But you see a documentary and they say, but maybe somebody could articulate more. Remember, they did the same thing in Michael Jackson and stuff came out that it wasn't true. Things are taken out of context. This is dangerous for the black man, well known or not. And you moist ass Negroes out here, y'all pandering or manipulating. This is gonna come back to bite y'all in the ass. Don't think it won't.